I'm at West Bloomfield High School alongside West Bloomfield Lakers head coach Darrin McAllister. The girls basketball team last season 25-1 overall record, including 25 straight wins on their way to their first MHSAA Division I state championship game after losing their first game in a narrow battle against Dexter. Coach McAllister, what was that difference maker last year to put your team over the top after losing to start the season, then going 25 straight consecutive games, winning basketball, and ultimately bringing home the state championship?
Well, the first thing I think an eye-opener for us was losing that game to Dexter. But we knew at that time we wasn't full strength. We were hit by COVID. I think we had about 3 or 4 players out with COVID and a couple injuries. But it was an opportunity for some of our other players to step up, and they did. But unfortunately, we didn't get that win. But I think what turned the table for us was the game that we played Bolingbrook out of Illinois. They were one of the top teams and still one of the top teams in the Midwest. And for us to be down by 19 and to come back, it really just showed us that we can compete with anybody in the country, for that matter.
For those that haven't been following along with this team, this championship team coming into the season, defending their 2021 championship, what are some of those key traits that this team possesses, or that you're looking for a team under your scheme to possess to win championship ball?
Well, I think for us this year, we're a totally different team than last year. And what I mean by that is, last year we were a younger team, but we had 5 seniors, and we had that leadership that really just grabbed this team and just pulled them where they need to be. This year we have 2 seniors. We're not as young, but we're not as old, but we are experienced. And we have a lot of athletic players that really believe in each other. And the unique part about this team, I really use the word family. They are like a family, but it's really a family because we have the twin sisters, the Davis sisters, and we have the Hendricks sisters, and then one of Destiny Washington, her sister's on the staff. So we have 3 sets of sisters, so it's really a family affair.
Yeah, and speak to how that also connects to the overall chemistry of the team. We know that in other Laker championship sports, that's been a huge factor in them being able to get to the MHSAA playoffs, play competitive ball in the playoffs, and ultimately bring home state championships. For this team, speak to the chemistry and how that helps them come back into the season, maybe not as a veteran in terms of their years on the team, but certainly, as you said, well experienced.
Well, I tell people all the time, chemistry is like a strong wind. You can't see it, but you can see the results of it. And I think our team really bought into that and understood that, especially the mid part of the season. They really came together, and the chemistry was phenomenal. And it carried us all the way to the championship game and the championship. But we have that chemistry now going into the season, which is going to be really unique. But I think a lot of it just the fact that these girls genuinely love each other. And a lot of it starts with, we have sisters on the team. So it becomes a family affair, and it's really fun to watch.
The Lakers last season averaging 64 points per game, and their opponents 37 points per game average margin of victory for the Lakers girls team in the 2021 championship season was just under 30 points at 29.6. And coming into this season, Coach McAllister, as you've already had the season underway, you've had several practices, a game already under the books at the time that we're filming this. What are some of the key improvements you're looking for your team to make to be able to really have a strong chance of repeating as champions in 2022?
Well, I think it all starts with the mindset. We look at the average, what we average as far as what we're scoring and what we're giving up. But we break it down with players. We look at the plus minuses, and we get the players to understand what are you giving us when you're in the game, and what are you giving up. But then overall too is we try to win every quarter. Will we win every quarter? Probably not. But if you reach for the stars, you never come up with a handful of mud. So that's our goal, to try and win every quarter.
Coach Darrin McAllister with the West Bloomfield Lakers girls basketball team joining me today from West Bloomfield High School. And Coach McAllister, speak to the leadership of this team too. It's such a critical part of what goes into winning championship games, is having that leadership on the floor that can ultimately enact what you are coaching and what you're ordering from the sidelines. Speak to those leaders and how important they are to this team coming off a championship, and as you're bringing new players in to the program at the varsity level.
Well, the unique part about this team is we have leaders. We have 5 leaders. And those leaders we have 6 leaders. And those leaders start with our senior, Jada Vaughn and Sydney Hendricks. And then we go to India Davis and Summer Davis being leaders even though they're juniors. And then you have Destiny Washington as the leader even though she's a junior. And Kendall who's stepping up right now, and she's the leader as well. So we have the unique part of having 6 leaders on this team, and at any given time, any one of them can lead on and off the floor.
Speaking to another player on your team, she said the difference between this year defending a championship and last season fighting for that championship, if it's kind of like going from being the hunters to being the hunted. How does that play a factor in the way that you speak to your team about the way they got to approach this season to come back and take home another championship?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we really try and put in their heads, that we did go from the hunter to the hunted. And what that means is every single team that we play, we're going to get their best shot. Every single team that we play, regardless of what their record, this is their championship. And everybody want to measure themselves upon how they compete against West Bloomfield. Even when we were in the scrimmages early in the early part of preseason, it was teams that were coming out and players and coaches saying, well, we did this against West Bloomfield, we did this. And that's great, and I like that, but we were working on things to make us better. But I wanted them to understand people are going to give you their best shot, and sometimes they just want a moral victory. And we got to get to the point where we're playing our game and trying to get a victory overall.
Coach McAllister, before we let you go, what do you believe are those separating factors, maybe 2 or 3 separating factors that really make your team this season a difference maker at the MHSAA Division I level and a team that's going to be really tough to compete with all throughout the season?
Well, I think it's a couple things. I think number one is being able to persevere. I think being able to endure whatever teams are going to put up against us. But overall, I think it's being properly prepared. I tell the players proper preparation prevents poor performance. So if we're prepared, I think we're going to be all right. We were prepared last year, and we got one of the best coaching staffs in the state. I would go out and say one of the best coaching staff in the Midwest, and they definitely make sure that this team is prepared.
The Lakers coming into the season #1 ranked girls basketball team in the state of Michigan, in the top 20 according to SB Nation's rankings in the United States. Coach McAllister, anything else we should know about your team or you'd like to say about this year's squad before we let you go?
Well, I'll just say this is a fun team, and they're really fun to watch. This is a team that really, really like each other, and they understand the game and play the game well. But overall, it's just a fun team to watch. So I would tell people, get your popcorn ready, come out, let's enjoy the show.
Yeah, fun team to watch, great personalities and great basketball as well. Lakers girls basketball team playing all throughout the winter season. More information can be found on the West Bloomfield School District's website as well as on the MHSAA website. That does it from here at West Bloomfield High School. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside West Bloomfield Lakers head basketball coach Darrin McAllister.